Jiho Kim walked through the massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber. His black shoes clicked on the smooth metal floor. The sound echoed in the huge room. Above him, the ceiling stretched so high he could barely see it. Thousands of alien delegates filled the curved rows of seats that rose up like a giant bowl. The air smelled strange. It was a mix of different alien scents that made his nose wrinkle. Some smells were sweet like flowers. Others were sharp and bitter. A few reminded him of old fish. After 20 years as Earth's ambassador, Jiho still hated that smell. He wore his best suit. It was navy blue with a red tie. His gray hair was combed neat. At 62 years old, Jiho looked tired. Deep lines marked his face around his eyes and mouth. Those lines came from too many fights in this very room, too many arguments with aliens who looked down on humans. Behind Jiho walked two other humans. Minho Park was his military friend. Minho was younger and stronger. His muscles showed even through his uniform. He had sharp eyes that missed nothing. The third person was Hyuna Lee. She was the smartest scientist Jiho knew. Her black hair was pulled back in a simple style. She carried a tablet computer in her hands. The three humans walked to their seats in the front row. All around them, aliens stared down. Some had 4 arms, others had skin like scales. A few looked like giant insects. Many had eyes that glowed different colors, but they all had the same look when they saw humans. It was the look someone gives to a bug they want to step on. The council speaker was a tall creature called Vorthak. He had purple skin and no hair. His voice was deep and loud. When he spoke, the room went quiet. "Today we vote on Resolution 2847, Vorthak announced. "The human question has been debated for months. Earth has had chances to defend itself. Now we decide." Jiho stood up. His voice was calm but strong. "Earth requests to speak one final time." Many aliens made angry sounds. Some hissed. Others clicked their tongues. A few pounded their desks with fists or claws. "The human has already spoken too much," said a delegate who looked like a giant lizard. "We are tired of their excuses." "Let him speak," said another voice. This came from Ambassador Kalith. She was one of the few aliens who treated humans fairly. Her people were called the Anturi. They looked almost human except their skin was light blue. Jiho walked to the speaking platform in the center of the room. All eyes followed him. He felt very small under so many stares, but he had practiced this speech many times. For 200 years, Earth has been part of this council, Jiho began. "We have followed every law. We have paid every tax. We have sent our best people to serve in galactic programs. We have shared our knowledge and our resources, and you have caused nothing." "But trouble," interrupted the lizard delegate. "Humans are too violent, too unpredictable. You fight wars over small things. You cannot be trusted." Jiho's face stayed calm, but his hands made fists. "Earth has not started a single war in galactic space. Every conflict we joined was to defend innocent people. We have saved millions of lives." "Lives you put in danger in the first place," said another alien. This one had tentacles instead of arms. "Your species spreads chaos wherever it goes." Minho shifted in his seat. Jiho could see his friend getting angry. Hyuna touched Minho's arm to keep him calm. The vote began. One by one, each species cast their decision. Most voted against Earth. Some abstained. Only the Anturi voted to keep Earth in the council. When it was over, the numbers appeared on the big screen. 7 votes against Earth. 1 vote for Earth. 12 abstained. "The resolution passes," Vorthak announced. "Earth's territorial rights beyond the Sol system are revoked. All human colonies must be abandoned within 1 standard year." The room erupted in cheers from most aliens. A few looked uncomfortable. Kalith shook her head sadly, but Vorthak was not finished. "There is more. Earth will provide 10 million human volunteers for the labor colonies. These workers will help build new stations in the outer rim. Jiho felt like he had been punched in the stomach. Labor colonies were basically slavery. The aliens wanted 10 million humans to work as slaves. And, Vorthak continued, Earth must share all genetic samples from your population. The Council has approved a new super soldier program. Human genetic material will be very useful. That was the final straw. Jiho now understood what was really happening. The aliens did not just want Earth out of the Council. They wanted to use humans like tools. They wanted to steal human DNA and force millions into slavery. Jiho walked back to the speaking platform. The room slowly got quiet. I have served as Earth's ambassador for 20 years, he said. His voice was different now. It was harder, colder. I have tried to find peace between our species. I believed we could work together. He looked around the room at all the alien faces. I was wrong. Jiho reached into his jacket pocket. He pulled out a small device. It looked like a simple phone. But Minho and Huna knew what it really was. Earth withdraws from the Galactic Council, Jiho announced. This withdrawal is effective immediately. All treaties are void. All agreements are canceled. Many aliens started laughing. They thought Earth was throwing a tantrum like a child. You cannot survive without the Council, the lizard delegate said. Your technology depends on us. Your trade routes go through our space. You will come crawling back within a year. Jiho smiled. It was not a nice smile. We will see. He pressed a button on the device. Somewhere far away, computers started running programs. Those programs had been written years ago by Earth's best scientists. They had been waiting for this moment. The first thing that happened was the lights flickered. Then some of the alien tablets stopped working. A few delegates looked confused when their translators went silent. What is happening? Vorthak demanded. Yuna stood up. For 200 years, Earth has helped maintain galactic technology. We built your communication networks. We designed your navigation systems. We created the programs that run your computers. More, aliens were noticing problems. Some could not access their files. Others found their personal devices shutting down. You see, Jiho said, humans are very good at building things. We are also very good at taking them apart. Minho pressed his own device. This one sent a signal to every human in council space. The message was simple. Come home now. You cannot do this, Vorthak said. His purple face was getting darker. This is an act of war. No, Jiho replied. This is an act of independence. Earth owes you nothing. We will take our technology with us when we leave. The three humans walked toward the exit. All around them, aliens were discovering that their advanced technology was failing. Panic was starting to spread. At the door, Jiho turned back one last time. Good luck, he said. You are going to need it. The doors closed behind them with a soft click. The age of human cooperation with the Galactic Council was over. What came next would change everything. Taehyun Choi sat in front of 12 computer screens. His fingers moved fast across 3 different keyboards. Numbers and codes flowed across the monitors like waterfalls. He had been waiting for this day for 15 years. The command center was deep under Seoul. It was so secret that most Earth governments did not know it existed. Only a few hundred humans knew about this place. They called it the Disconnect Protocol. Sir, we have confirmation, said Sora Kim from her station. She was 28 years old and one of the best communication experts on Earth. Ambassador Jiho pressed the button. All systems are go. Taehyun nodded. He was 45 and had gray streaks in his black hair. He had designed most of the technology that kept the galaxy connected. Now he would tear it all down. Begin Phase 1, he ordered. Sora's hands flew over her controls. On the big screen at the front of the room, a map of the galaxy appeared. Thousands of lines connected, different star systems, These lines showed the communication network that let aliens talk to each other across vast distances. Green dots marked human-built systems. There were more green dots than anyone expected. "Look at that," whispered Jin-Woo at another station. He was new and had never seen the full map before. "We built almost everything." "Not almost," Tae-hyun said. "We built it all. The aliens just think they did." For 200 years, humans had played a careful game. Whenever aliens asked for help with technology, humans said yes. But they never showed the aliens how advanced human science really was. Instead, they built systems that looked simple on the outside but were incredibly complex inside. Every communication relay had human code in it. Every navigation computer used human mathematics. Every trade database ran on human-designed programs. The aliens never knew because the technology worked perfectly. They just used it and forgot who really made it. "Starting disconnection in the outer rim," Sora announced. "Systems going dark in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The first green dots on the map turned red. Then they vanished completely. 3,000 light-years away, the Zephyrian trade station suddenly lost all communication with the outside galaxy. Admiral Corvex was in the middle of coordinating a cargo shipment when his screens went blank. "What happened?" he demanded. His blue skin turned darker when he was angry. "Unknown, sir," his aide replied. "All external communications are down. Navigation is offline. Even the computers that track our inventory have stopped working." Similar scenes played out on hundreds of stations and planets. Alien commanders shouted at their technicians. Engineers ran around checking cables and power supplies. But nothing was wrong with the hardware. The software had simply vanished. Back on Earth, Daeho Jung walked into the command center. He was a tall man with broad shoulders. His military uniform had many medals on it. As Earth's defense commander, he had been preparing for this day since he was young. "How is it going?" he asked Tae-hyun. "Better than expected," Tae-hyun replied. "The aliens are completely dependent on our systems. They cannot even send basic messages without human technology." Daeho smiled. "And our people? Sora is handling that," Tae-hyun said. At her station, Sora was sending secret messages to every human in galaxy space. The messages used old Earth military codes that no alien had ever learned. The instructions were simple: pack light, trust, no one, and get to the nearest human ship immediately. Dr. Myre Park received her message while working in a Centaurian medical facility. She had been treating alien patients for 8 years. The aliens treated her like a servant, but she did her job anyway. When the coded message appeared on her personal device, she quietly gathered her things. "Where are you going?" asked her Centaurian supervisor. He had 4 arms and skin like tree bark. "Family emergency," Myre lied. "I need to return to Earth." The supervisor made an annoyed sound. Humans and their emotions. "Very well, but be quick." If he had known that every human in the galaxy was leaving at the same time, he might have been more worried. Captain Sung-Hoon Lee was commanding a human merchant ship near the Altarian border when his orders came. His ship was small but fast. More importantly, it was completely human-built. No alien technology anywhere on board. "Change course for the Nexus station," he told his crew. "We have pickup duty." The Nexus station was in neutral space. It was also secretly controlled by humans, though the aliens who used it did not know that. Within 6 hours, Sung-Hoon's ship and 50 others like it were collecting human refugees from across the sector. By the end of the first day, the outer rim of the galaxy had gone completely silent. Trade routes that had operated for centuries were broken. Entire civilizations found themselves cut off from their neighbors. On the planet Zerion, millions of aliens depended on food shipments from other worlds. Their own planet could not grow enough crops. When the communication systems failed, the cargo ships stopped coming. No one knew where to deliver the food or how to pay for it. The Corvin Alliance tried to use their military networks as backup communication systems, but those networks also used human technology. When Sora pressed another button, the entire Corvan fleet lost contact with their homeworld. "Sir," reported Commander Vex to his admiral, "we cannot reach command. We cannot reach any of our ships. We are completely alone out here." Admiral Thane had been preparing to attack a rival species. Now his fleet was floating helpless in space with no way to coordinate their movements. "This is impossible," Thane growled. "Technology does not just disappear," but that was exactly what was happening. All across the galaxy, the invisible network that connected civilization was vanishing piece by piece. Taehyun watched the progress on his screens. Each day, more green dots turned red and disappeared. The map of galactic civilization was shrinking. "Phase 2 begins tomorrow," he announced to his team. "We start disconnecting the core worlds." The core worlds were where the most powerful, alien civilizations lived. These planets had the best technology and the strongest militaries. They also had the most human-built systems. Hyejin Nam was one of Taehyun's best programmers. She had spent 10 years working on the core world systems. "Are you sure we should hit them so soon?" she asked. "They might figure out what we are doing." Taehyun shook his head. "They still think this is some kind of technical failure. They have no idea we are causing it. Besides, we need to move fast before they realize how much they depend on us." On the planet Alteria Prime, the government was already in emergency session. Chancellor Wex had gray skin and 6 eyes. All 6 eyes were wide with worry. "The entire Outer Rim has gone dark," reported his intelligence minister. "No communication, no trade, no nothing. Billions of our citizens are trapped on isolated worlds." "What about our own systems?" Chancellor Wex demanded. "Still functional, sir. But we are having some minor glitches with our long-range networks." Those minor glitches were about to become major problems. In 12 hours, Sora would press another button, and Alteria Prime would join the growing list of silent worlds. The Great Disconnection was just beginning. Across the galaxy, alien civilizations were discovering that their advanced technology was just an illusion. Without humans to maintain the hidden systems, their entire way of life was falling apart, and Earth had only just started to pull the plug. Junho Yu stared at the reports flooding his desk. As Earth's intelligence chief, he had agents everywhere in the galaxy, or at least he used to. Now his agents were coming home, and the news they brought was worse than anyone expected. His office was on the top floor of a building in Tokyo. Through the big windows, he could see the city lights, but his mind was focused on the chaos happening thousands of light years away. "Sir, we have another report from the Xanth sector," said his assistant Yunji. She was young, but very smart. Her job was to read all the intelligence reports and pics out the most important ones. "What now?" Junho asked. He rubbed his tired eyes. He had not slept much in the past week. The Xanth Empire is breaking apart. Their automated factory systems have all stopped working. Millions of workers have no jobs. Food distribution has collapsed. There are riots in the capital city. Junho was not surprised. The Xanth had always been proud of their advanced automation. What they did not know was that humans had designed most of their factory control systems. When those systems went dark, the entire Xanth economy fell apart in days. "Any word from their government?" Junho asked. "Emperor Vorthak tried to send a message to Earth yesterday. He wants to negotiate, but our communication networks are down in his sector, so the message never got through." That made Junho smile a little. Vorthak was the same alien who had announced Earth's expulsion from the Council. Now he was begging for help. A knock on the door interrupted his thoughts. Narration walked in. She was Earth's best diplomatic negotiator. Her job had gotten much more interesting lately. "We have 3 more species asking for secret meetings," Nara reported. "The Velian Republic, the Keth Collective, and the Mirani Federation. They all want to discuss restoring their communication systems." "What are you telling them?" Junho asked. "That Earth is reviewing each case individually. We are only willing to help species that treated us fairly in the past." This was Earth's new policy. Some alien species had always been respectful to humans. Others had treated humans like dirt. Now, Earth was deciding who deserved help and who did not. The Velian Republic had always been neutral in council votes about human rights. They never helped Earth, but they never attacked either. The Keth Collective had actually defended humans a few times. The Marani Federation had been openly hostile for decades. Schedule meetings with the Velians and the Keth, Junho decided. Tell the Marani we are too busy. Nara nodded and made notes on her tablet. What about the refugee situation? That was becoming a big problem. As alien civilizations collapsed, millions of beings were fleeing their home worlds. Many of them were heading toward Earth space, hoping humans would help them. How many ships are we tracking? Junho asked. Over 2,000. Most are civilian transports, but some are military vessels. They are all asking for permission to enter Sol System. Junho walked to his window. Down below, he could see construction crews working on new buildings. Earth was getting ready for major changes. Some of the refugees would be allowed to stay, but Earth would choose carefully. Meanwhile, on the planet Corvin Prime, General Thax was having the worst week of his military career. The Corvin Alliance was known for having the strongest army in the galaxy. Their weapons were feared by everyone, but now General Thax could not even contact half of his forces. The communication breakdown had left his army scattered and confused. Worse, many of their weapon systems were failing too. "Sir, we have confirmed that the humans are behind this," reported Colonel Zara. She had blue skin and 4 arms. Her voice was angry. "How can you be sure?" General Thax asked. "Our engineers have been studying the failed systems. All of them have human-designed components that we never noticed before. The humans built secret controls into everything they gave us." General Thax felt sick. For decades, the Corvin had accepted human help with their technology. They thought, they were using the humans for free labor. Now they realized the humans had been controlling them all along. "Prepare the fleet," he ordered. "We are going to Sol System. If the humans want a war, we will give them one." But General Thax did not know that Earth had been watching his every move. On Earth, Kyung-woo received the intelligence report about Corvin fleet movements. As commander of Earth's secret deep space forces, this was exactly what he had been waiting for. Kyung was 50 years old and had served in the military his entire life. He was calm under pressure and very good at planning battles. Most importantly, he knew secrets that would shock the galaxy. "How many ships is Thax bringing?" he asked his aide. 10,000, sir. The entire Corvin battle fleet. They are moving toward Sol System in attack formation." Kyung smiled. "Good. It is time to show them what human ships can really do." For 200 years, Earth had been building a secret fleet. While the aliens thought humans only had simple cargo ships and small patrol boats, Earth had been constructing advanced warships in hidden bases throughout Sol System. These ships used technology that was centuries ahead of anything the aliens had. They could become invisible, travel faster than alien sensors could track, and fire weapons that could destroy entire fleets. "Send a message to all fleet commanders," Kyung ordered. "Operation Sunrise begins in 24 hours. The message went out to secret bases on Mars, Europa, and Titan. In asteroid mining stations that looked empty from the outside, massive hangar doors began to open. Ships that had been hidden for decades started powering up their engines. Back on Earth, the government was dealing with political chaos from the aliens. President Han received urgent messages from dozens of species every day. Most were threats. Some were pleas for help. The Altarian Federation was in complete civil war. Their government had split into 5 different factions, each claiming to be the rightful rulers. Without communication systems, they could not coordinate with each other or their colonies. The Zerian Commonwealth was facing mass starvation. Their planets could not grow enough food to feed their population. They depended on trade with other worlds. When trade stopped, people began to die. 3 minor species had already gone extinct. Their populations were so spread out across different Worlds that, when communication failed, they could not find each other anymore. But the most shocking news came from the council chamber itself. Ambassador Kaleth, the blue-skinned Anturi who had always supported humans, sent a secret message through old diplomatic channels. "The council is finished," her message said. "Half the delegates cannot return to their homeworlds because transport systems are down. The other half are too busy with domestic crises to attend meetings. Yesterday, only 12 delegates showed up. Today, only 3. The Great Galactic Council, which had ruled space for thousands of years, was dying. And it was dying because they had kicked out the one species that held everything together." Junho read Kaleth's message and shook his head. The aliens had thought humans were weak and primitive. They had no idea that humans were the backbone holding galactic civilization together. Now they were learning the truth. But for many of them, it was already too late. Seojin Kang stood on the bridge of the ESS Phoenix, watching the enemy fleet approach. Through the large window, she could see thousands of lights moving toward Earth. Each light was a Corvin warship, 10,000 ships in total coming to destroy humanity. Seojin was 43 years old and had trained for this moment her entire life. As Fleet Admiral of Earth's secret navy, she commanded ships that no alien had ever seen, ships that would change everything. "Admiral, the Corvin fleet, will be in weapon range in 2 hours," reported her communications officer Dong-hyuk. He was young, but had steady hands and a calm voice. "Good," Seojin replied. "Are our ships in position?" "Yes, ma'am. All 200 vessels are ready. Stealth systems are active. The enemy cannot see us." Seojin smiled. The Corvin thought they were attacking a defenseless world with only civilian ships. They had no idea what was waiting for them. Behind her, Borum Lim was working at the science station. She was the smartest person Seojin knew. Borum had helped design most of the Phoenix's advanced systems. Today, she would show the galaxy what human science could really do. "Borum, are you ready for the broadcast?" Seojin asked. "Almost, Admiral. I just need to make sure the transmission can reach every corner of the galaxy. This message needs to be heard by everyone." On the Corvin flagship, General Thax was feeling confident. His ship was the size of a small city. His weapons could destroy planets. Behind him, 9,999 more ships followed in perfect formation. "Scan the Sol system," he ordered his weapons officer. "I want to know exactly what we are facing." The scans came back quickly. "Sir, we detect no military vessels, only some cargo ships and civilian transports. The humans appear to be defenseless." General Thax laughed. "Just as I thought. Humans are all talk and no action. This will be over quickly." But the Corvin scanners were seeing exactly what Earth wanted them to see. The human ships were there, but they were invisible. Earth's stealth technology was so advanced that the Corvin sensors could not detect them at all. "Admiral, the enemy fleet is now in range," Dong-hyuk reported. Seojin took a deep breath. "All ships, this is Phoenix Command. Begin Operation Sunrise." Across the Sol system, 200 human warships suddenly appeared. They had been invisible seconds before, but now they shimmered into view like ghosts becoming solid. The Corvin fleet was caught completely by surprise. Their sensors screamed warnings as ships appeared all around them, ships that were faster, more advanced, and more deadly than anything they had ever seen. "What is happening?" General Thax shouted. "Where did those ships come from?" His tactical officer was staring at his screens in shock. "Sir, I have never seen technology like this. Their ships they are beyond anything in our databases." The first human ship to fire was the ESS Seoul, commanded by Captain Min Seok. His ship looked small compared to the massive Corvin vessels, but appearances were deceiving. The Seoul fired a single beam of energy. The beam passed right through the shields of a Corvin battleship, as if the shields were not there. The battleship exploded in a ball of fire. "Impossible!" General Thax gasped. "Their weapons went through our shields." All across the battlefield, human ships opened fire. Their weapons were designed using principles that alien science did not understand. The beams could phase through any known shield technology and strike directly at enemy hulls. The Corvin fleet tried to fight back. 10,000 ships fired at once. The space around Earth lit up with laser beams and missile trails. But most of their shots missed completely. The human ships were too fast and too agile. The few shots that did hit seemed to have no effect. The human shields absorbed the enemy fire and grew stronger from it. In just 10 minutes, the Corvin had lost 1,000 ships. In 20 minutes, they had lost 3,000. General Tax realized his fleet was being destroyed. "All ships, retreat," he ordered. "We cannot win this battle." But retreating was not so easy. The human ships had surrounded the entire Corvin fleet. Every time a group of alien vessels tried to escape, human ships appeared to block their path. Commander Jaewon Ha was coordinating the battle from Earth's military headquarters. He sat in front of a dozen screens showing the fight from different angles. His job was to make sure no Corvin ship escaped. "Block the exit vectors," he told his tactical team. "I want every alien ship either captured or destroyed. None of them. Go home." Jaewon was a strategic genius. He had studied alien military tactics for 20 years. He knew exactly how they would try to escape, and he was ready for every move. On the Phoenix, Borum was ready to make her broadcast. She had worked on this speech for months. Today, the entire galaxy would learn the truth about humanity. "Admiral, we are ready to transmit," she reported. "Do it," Seojin ordered. Borum pressed a button. Her message began broadcasting on every frequency in the galaxy. Even with their communication networks down, most aliens had emergency radios that could receive the signal. "People of the galaxy," Borum began. Her voice was calm and clear. "For 200 years, you have believed that humans were primitive. You thought we were weak and dependent on your technology. Today, you learn the truth." Across the galaxy, billions of aliens stopped what they were doing to listen. Every communication system in your space was designed by humans. Every computer program that runs your civilizations was written by human programmers. Every navigation system that guides your ships uses human mathematics. In the Altarian capital, Chancellor Wex felt his blood turn cold. In the Xanth throne room, Emperor Vorthak stared at his radio in horror. "We did not learn from you," Borum continued. "You learned from us. Every piece of technology we shared was deliberately limited. We showed you simple versions of our advanced science. We made you dependent on us while pretending to be dependent on you." The battle around Earth was ending. Of the 10,000 Corvin ships, only a few hundred survived. Most had been destroyed. The rest had surrendered. General Thack sat in the ruins of his command bridge. Half his crew was dead. His mighty flagship was crippled and drifting. Human ships surrounded him on all sides. "This is Admiral Seojin Kang of the Earth Defense Force," came a voice over his radio. "General Thax, you are defeated. Surrender. Now, and your remaining crews will be treated fairly." Thax had no choice. "I surrender," he whispered. Borum's broadcast was still going. "The chaos you are experiencing is not an accident. It is the result of your own choices. You expelled us from the Council. You threatened to enslave our people. You tried to steal our genetic material. This is our response." Across the galaxy, alien leaders realized they had made a terrible mistake. The species they had dismissed as primitive had been the most advanced civilization in known space, and now humanity was showing its true power. "We did not want this conflict," Borum concluded. "We offered friendship. We shared our knowledge. We tried to work together, but you chose to treat us as enemies. Now you will live with the consequences." The broadcast ended. The battle was over. The galaxy had seen what humans could really do when they stopped pretending to be weak. The age of alien dominance was finished. The age of humanity had begun. Yunabei walked slowly to the podium. Behind her, the flags of Earth's nations hung in perfect rows. In front of her, cameras from across the galaxy waited to record her words. As Earth's new Prime Minister, she was about to reshape the future of galactic civilization. She was 51 years old with kind eyes and a gentle voice. But everyone who knew her understood that she was tough when she needed to be. Today, she would be very tough. The Great Hall was filled with representatives from dozens of alien species. Some sat proudly in their chairs. Others looked worried and scared. A few were clearly angry. All of them were waiting to hear what Earth demanded. "Citizens of the galaxy," Una began. Her voice was calm, but carried clearly through the room. 3 months have passed since Earth left the Galactic Council. 3 months since we showed you who we really are. Today, we decide what comes next. In the audience, Ambassador Keyleth of the Anturi leaned forward. She was one of the few aliens who had always treated humans fairly. Her blue skin looked pale with worry. Beside her sat what remained of the old council leadership. Vorthak, the former speaker, looked much older than before. His purple skin was darker and his eyes were tired. The collapse of his government had broken his spirit. "The old Galactic Council is dead," Una continued. "It died the moment you voted to expel Earth and enslave our people. What we build now will be different, better, but only if you are willing to change." Near the back of the room, General Thax sat in a simple chair. He was no longer a prisoner, but he was no longer a general either. The Corvan Alliance had surrendered completely after their fleet was destroyed. Thax was just a representative now begging for mercy. Una looked directly at him. "Some of you came to Sol System with weapons, intending to destroy us. You learned that we are not the weak species you thought we were. Your fleets are gone. Your armies are scattered. Your governments are falling apart." She paused to let those words sink in. Several alien delegates shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "But Earth is not interested in conquest. We could have destroyed your worlds completely. We could have invaded your planets and ruled over you. We chose not to. Do you know why?" The room was completely silent. Even the cameras made no sound. "Because that is not who we are. Humans believe that all intelligent life has value. Even those who have wronged us deserve a chance to do better." Some of the tension left the room. A few aliens looked relieved. But Una was not finished. "However, the galaxy cannot return to the way it was. The old system was built on lies and exploitation. If we are to work together again, it must be as equals." She gestured to an aide who handed her a thick document. "These are Earth's conditions for restoring galactic civilization. First, all species must acknowledge that they are responsible for the current crisis. No one forced you to become dependent on human technology. No one made you treat us as inferior. Those were your choices." Vorthak's face grew even darker. He clearly did not like being blamed for the galaxy's problems. Second, full reparations must be paid to Earth for 200 years of exploitation. We calculated the value of all human labor, knowledge, and resources that were taken without fair payment. The total amount is significant. She named a number that made several aliens gasp. It was more money than most civilizations had ever seen. Third, any species that wishes to use human-designed technology must petition Earth individually. We will decide case by case who deserves our help. This caused angry murmuring throughout the room. Many aliens were used to taking human help for granted. Fourth, new galactic laws will protect the rights of all species, including those you previously considered primitive or inferior. Never again will any species be expelled or enslaved by majority vote. Ambassador Keyleth nodded approvingly. This was something she had always supported. Finally, Earth will not rejoin any galactic government as a member. Instead, we will serve as mediators and guardians. When conflicts arise, we will help resolve them. When technology is needed, we will provide it to those who prove they deserve it. Una set down the document and looked around the room. These terms are not negotiable. Accept them, and we can begin rebuilding galactic civilization together. Reject them, and you will remain isolated in your own failing systems." She paused again, then continued in a softer voice. "I know these terms seem harsh, but remember, you brought this on yourselves. Earth offered friendship for 2 centuries. You responded with contempt and threats. Now you must earn our trust back." The first alien to stand was Ambassador Keyleth. "The Anturi Republic accepts Earth's terms completely," she said. "We apologize for not doing more to prevent this crisis. We hope to prove ourselves worthy of human friendship again." Yuna smiled at her. "Thank you, Ambassador. The Anturi will be among the first to have their systems restored." One by one, other species began to accept the terms. The Velian Republic agreed quickly. The Keth Collective signed without argument. Even some species that had been hostile to humans swallowed their pride and accepted Earth's conditions, but not everyone was willing to submit. A delegate from the Mirani Federation stood up. His species looked like large insects with multiple arms. "The Mirani will never bow to human demands," he declared. "We reject these terms completely." Yuna nodded calmly. "That is your choice. Earth respects your decision to remain isolated." The Mirani delegate seemed surprised by this response. He had expected threats or arguments. Instead, Yuna simply moved on to the next species. Over the following weeks, most civilizations accepted Earth's terms. Those that did found their communication, systems slowly coming back online. Trade routes were restored. Technology began working again, but the species that refused Earth's help found themselves truly alone. The Mirani Federation collapsed within a month. Their planets could not communicate with each other or coordinate basic services. Other stubborn species faced similar fates. Meanwhile, humans were busy building the new galactic order. Sunho Kim became Earth's new trade coordinator. His job was to establish economic partnerships with species that had proven themselves trustworthy. The Anturi got the best deals because of their long support for human rights. Species that had been neutral got fair but limited agreements. Former enemies got almost nothing. Minji Park was put in charge of managing refugee populations. Millions of aliens had fled their collapsing worlds and come to human space seeking help. Minji carefully screened each group. Those from species that had treated humans well were welcomed and given aid. Others were politely turned away. The transformation was remarkable. Within 6 months, a new galactic civilization was emerging. But this one was very different from the old council. Humans were clearly in charge, though they ruled with a light hand. They provided the technology and mediation that kept everything running, but they did not micromanage other species. As long as everyone followed the new laws protecting all intelligent life, humans were happy to let others govern themselves. 5 years later, Jiho Kim walked through the halls of New Geneva Station. He was older now, with completely gray hair, but his eyes were bright with satisfaction. The station orbited Earth and served as the headquarters for the new galactic cooperative. Unlike the old council chamber with its towering alien architecture, this place was built for all species equally. The rooms were sized so that tiny beings and giants could meet comfortably. Translation systems let everyone speak in their native languages. Most importantly, every species had an equal voice in discussions. But humans were not members of this cooperative. They were something more important. They were the guardians who made sure it worked fairly. Jiho stopped at a large window overlooking the meeting chamber. Inside, delegates from 50 different species were discussing a trade dispute. An human mediator was helping them find a solution that worked for everyone. It was exactly what Jiho had dreamed of during those frustrating years in the old council. A galaxy where all species were treated with respect, where no one was enslaved or exploited, where conflicts were resolved peacefully. The only difference was that now, everyone knew who was really in charge. The age of human humility was over. The age of human leadership had begun.